the
Yeah,
games.
like you're a gamer, but don't be out there with these. Don't be out there holding other platforms to a higher standard when you don't even have a standard for yourself. You know what I mean? Like you have no standard, so you just have a generic view on gaming. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it just doesn't make sense. If you have a generic view on gaming, then just stay generic. Like I just don't understand. Like it's a trip and shit like that.
Well, think about it, these dudes will pull out the magnifying glass when it comes to Sony and what they're doing, and them satisfying their fan base. They say, "Oh, that's anti-consumer," but when it comes to Microsoft satisfying them and their fan base, anything goes.
Yo, it's just so. Yeah, you already saw it like with Ratchet and Clank, right? Sony pushed out and Insomniac pull a real demo on PlayStation hardware, right?
Yes.
The first next generation console to actually show a demo of a game for the world to see, right? No fake things, none of this weird shit, none of this. We expect it to look like this on a, even though it's running on PC. No, it's straight up. Hey, we're gonna play the game and you're gonna see it full extended gameplay. Boom. On PlayStation hardware, right? Yep. And there's people who showed, this game actually looks better than what they showed back in, June reveal, right?
Yeah.
But of course, the Xbox fanboys, right? They're coming out with videos, they're altering videos. Yo, they do an insane amount of editing and craziness, right?
For what?
And they put no energy into their own product that they ultimately is what they're gonna pay for. If you're gonna put energy criticizing something, right? It should be something that you're doing it for the sake of an improving game. Like here's the thing between us, right? When we criticize Xbox, we're pointing out the flaws so it can be better.
Yes.
Right? We're not doing it. We're not doing it as an argument to say PlayStation is better. PlayStation is better. That's not even an argument. We're not doing this to hope PlayStation sells more. It is gonna sell more.
Exactly.
Sony's gonna come out with the bangers. It's gonna win more Game of the Year's award. It's just gonna do everything. We don't have to do anything for that to happen. Our criticism of Xbox is so that the platform could be better because it's really looking weak from a perspective of first party. That's why we bash it. To say, hey, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. So that way people could take notice and be like, you know what? If you fix these things, the console won't look like trash anymore. That's our purpose. Our purpose ain't to make sure that PlayStation is the best or we're trying to convince the world. The world already buys PlayStation. Like we don't have to do anything.
There is nothing else further we can say that's going to get more people to buy PlayStation. It sells itself.
Yes. Yo, for real.
But on the flip side, the Xbox guys don't really have any requirements for Phil Spencer, for Microsoft, or for their console. There are no requirements. There's this thing out now, Puerto Rock, where guys are saying, hey, we haven't seen the back of the PS5. We haven't seen the box. We haven't seen the insides.
Like, that makes no sense. Like, who gives a shit?
Who cares? We've seen the games.
Yes.
We've seen people playing the actual games on the system. Press X to start. We've seen that. We've not seen one single game running on the X Series X. Everything was running on PC. And here's the crazy thing about it. These consoles are dropping within like 7 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, we're tomorrow September.
All the games that they've showed, even recently in that July show or whatever, running Halo. Why this close to launch is that shit still running on PC?
No, I don't know.
Something's not right, Puerto Rock, and maybe we know kids, so devs had already had the dev kits. Yeah. So they're a year behind in development of games on the dev kits. I don't know, man. Maybe Microsoft may say, fuck it, this thing is not really gonna, break any major sales. We're just gonna release it and throw it out there with no content, and guys will have access to 4 generations of Xbox games, and in a year or two, there'll be something there for them to play on the X Series X exclusively.
Okay. So we'll segue into this, which is the first topic. But before that, we're gonna shout out to the chat. Hey, thank you everybody for showing up. This is your boy PorterRock77, and of course I have J Dub. The other members, you know what I'm saying, life hit them, and they had to do some things. So I apologize for not having the full crew here. But I think me and J Dub, we're gonna hold it down right here. Hey, all I need is the governor. All I need is the Mario Cuomo of PlayStation. That's all you need. All right, that's it. All you need is Cuomo, and that's it. You good? You got the governor here. We got the governor here. That's all you need. You understand? You play politics with the virus, and you lost. All right, that's who we got right now. That's all you need. You just need one guy to put these up, man. But hey, shout out. We see Big Cloud Gaming up in here. Good supporter. Congratulations on 8K, my bro. Good stuff. Good channel. But we got Call Me J, Lay up in here. Star Guardians. Christopher Harte, what's up? Sneaky Snake. Ryan Landis, what's up? Coon 1985. Iron Fist. Who else we got up in here? Of course, J Dub. Causing a ruckus up in here. Call Me J. Spider 13. Raylo the God, what's going on? Lionel B, what's up? Strong Jawline Herman.
Hey man, I love their names, man. They be coming out with the most creative names.
Yeah, we got some cool dudes over here. Victor Mercado, what's up? Yeah, hell yeah, I'm excited for PS5. Hell, I bought me a new TV. You know what I'm saying? Just to have HDMI 2.1 ain't some shit. We got Socrates up in here. Oh, who else we got? You know what I'm saying? Jay Hart, what's good? Everybody here. Hey, truly appreciate everybody showing up. If you don't mind, hit the like button. Get this video, get this live stream going. Tweet it out to your favorite social media platform. Preferably, obviously Twitter and stuff like that. We're gonna kick it. So we're gonna segue into Xbox guys trying to make PlayStation look bad to try to make Xbox look good, which is a weird way of doing it. Instead of criticizing their platform so they could raise it up, they're trying to bring PlayStation down. So I like to call this, the semi-annual PS5 games going to PC fake news. Because it seems like every 6 months, an article comes out and people go back to, PS5 games going to be day one on PC, right? J-Dub, can you break it down? What have you been sniffing on the streets with this fake news?
Yeah, man. The last 6 months, we've heard everything from PS5 overheating to it's going to be delayed to there's no games for it to I think the recent rumor now is still saying, it's delayed since we hadn't seen the back of the.
Oh my God!
We hadn't seen the inside or the tear down or the back. So.
It's delayed. Never mind that Sony's sending out emails saying, "Hey, prepare to pre-order your console." But it's getting delayed. Oh my God!
Well, I registered, so I registered, got my place in line for it. It was only for the U.S. Where people could do that, where you can buy directly from Sony. Being the first, and the way they did that is they registered with your PSN ID. So you had to put your PSN ID in there. And word on the street that depending on your activity. Mm-hmm. On your PlayStation was who would get the first dibs. Oh, so
you're saying post up ain't gonna qualify?
Yeah, all these dudes with
all
the
these frauds,
sub 10 trophy scores. They hadn't put in a lot of work. The people with the one trophy score. People that just went out and bought a used PlayStation or a new PlayStation
just to talk shit.
The Last of Us 2 or Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, they won't get one.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they're still going to be available at Best Buy, Amazon, and stuff like that. You just gotta get in line on that stuff.
I'm gonna get mine from the PX.
Yeah,
tax free. Yo, so this whole started because Sony had their annual business meeting, whatever, and they mentioned that they're looking into investors meeting, and they're looking into providing. They said they're looking into sending more first party into PC, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, let's bypass the logical stuff. They go straight into the fanboys and the PC gamers going straight to PS5, right?
Yeah.
Never mind that the most likely scenario, Sony's talking about more PS4 games going to PC, right?
Yeah.
Because when you look at Horizon Zero Dawn, they sold the 3-year-old game for $40.
Yes.
And people on PC kind of bought it, right? So they're making $40 off of games that are 2-3 years old. So Sony could be like, well, these games aren't selling as much no more because they've been around the block for 3 years, And if they do sell, you're only gonna sell them for like $10-15 on the console, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if they could sell these games for $40 and get maybe 200K, 300K, 400K, okay, you know, I could see that. I could see Sony, you know, cutting it up, making that extra dollar.
Yeah.
But the thing,
but by the way, that's $50. So they'll give you a $10 discount.
Yeah. for the 3-year wait, right? Now,
yeah.
What people ain't looking at with the PS5, right, is if Sony had any intentions of releasing PS5 games, right, their main PS5 games onto PC, even if it's just a year later, that means they would have a multi-platform strategy in mind, right?
Yes.
That so far makes sense, right? You have a multi-platform strategy because you have 2 different architectures. If that is your mindset, then why would you create a console specifically with an architecture that is not available on the common PC and probably won't be adopted for at least 2-3 years?
Yes, exactly. Well,
right?
And that,
why not do what Microsoft did, was create a generic cyber-powered PC, pretty much. That's what they did. A powerful CPU, powerful GPU, some powerful RAM, put it together, here's your console. That makes sense in a multi-platform environment. You're not going to create a unique, specific set of architecture that's unique to your console, and then your message is talking about something unique, such as game development, but then still have a multi-platform strategy that you have to deal with. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think, I mean, you hit the hammer on it. You know, I mean, you hit the nail. We've been here before. 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago when Sony, when we had what was that game? Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
When it went to the PC, when they announced games where it makes sense.
Yeah.
Sean Layden said that games where it makes sense and where it fit with what they're trying to do, some of them will come to PC.
Yeah.
But the console is still their bread and butter, and that's still their focus.
Yeah.
And Jim Ryan and Herman Hulse have been screaming that to the mountaintops for the last year and a half. The same thing, right? Where it makes sense, we will put these games on the PC. Where it makes sense. Yeah, guess what? It makes sense if you have Horizon Zero Dawn 2 about to launch. Why wouldn't you want to launch the first one, the previous one, on the PC? Yeah. So not only can you have the awareness about Horizon Zero Dawn and that Sony IP, but you can get the old dollars and entice the PC guys. Well, shit, I bought this Horizon Zero Dawn 1 on PC. It was great. I don't want to wait 2-3 years, 4 years for the sequel. I'm going to go and cop me a PS5. It's a butter. They would drop a day and date. And I know some guys are saying, well, eventually it's going to be date and date. But I'm like, you know what? Eventually the world can come to an end. Yeah. You using that strategy. I mean, who knows? Yeah. You know, we can't say without a doubt that Sony would never, ever go day and date.
Yeah, that's
We're
true.
saying the likelihood of that happening
anytime
it's a ways
soon.
off.
Anytime soon, yes.
Yeah, it's not going to be anytime soon because here's the thing about it. You got to look at Horizon Zero Dawn. They sold, 200,000 copies on PC?
That's what I heard.
Is 200,000 copies enough to warrant them to do a date and date versus focusing specifically on the console that sold like 15 million copies? Like it's not even worth you alienate. You would alienate more console gamers than you would the PC guys who are going to buy it. Plus, they turned around and pirated the game the next day, Porter Rock. Yeah. I don't know if you saw that, but they already had it cracked. Yeah. It was already on Pirate Bay.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. A lot of people are mentioning, I seen in the chat, that hardcore PC gamers will never buy a console. That's a small niche group, right?
Yeah.
A lot of PC gamers will always buy consoles because of exclusives, right?
Of course.
If there's a lot of games, if there's a lot of games that they can't play, right? they're gonna go play it because they're gamers, right? This whole thing of a lot of PC gamers while they love to play at 60 frames or whatever, playing a game at 30 frames is still better than 0 frames, meaning you can't play the game at all. So a lot of PC gamers are multi-platform gamers.
I know Professor Porterock always deals with facts and numbers. The numbers came out was a couple of years ago that less than 2% of PC gamers actually game at 4K.
Yeah, the majority don't game on 4K. You know,
exactly. So guess what?
So
right now you're going to be getting, even this generation you got 4K. The next generation you're definitely going to be getting 4K in the 120 frames a second mode, the 60 frames a second mode, the ray tracing mode, and all that stuff. As a PC gamer, right, with having such a small amount of them actually gaming on the higher upper echelon of gaming, why would that even be a focus?
Yeah.
Like, who would care about less than 2%?
Yeah.
We're talking about the 98%.
The majority give a lot of PC gamers that play AAA games of these types, they buy consoles, right? They buy they always have. They always bought a console. A lot of PC gamers have always bought. Sure.
Always.
You're going to have a group that never will. We're not worried about them, right? The group that will buy consoles because they are gamers. They love and enjoy playing games, right? The dynamic of next gen is one console eliminated themselves from being a secondary purchase, which is Xbox,
because it was redundant.
It's redundant. They already threw the games at PC gamers, so those PC gamers don't have to worry about Xbox no more. Now they just look at Nintendo and Sony, PlayStation. That's it. Those are the two options. They could get both, or they'll get one or the other. But they will get another platform because, again, it's about the games. It's about the games they get to play. And as long as you're making big, compelling titles that's fun to play, good to play, a lot of PC gamers will be buying these consoles. Microsoft put themselves in a position where their own console is no longer an option because for a PC gamer, it doesn't have to be an option. They already have access to the games, right? This whole thing, right, is all about trying to downplay PlayStation 5 to make Xbox look good. Because people know Microsoft going multi-platform, putting their games on PC day one, weakens the Xbox console. It also provides trouble into developing games. You can see that from Halo Infinite, right? Guarantee Halo Infinite would not have any issues if it was strictly being made for Xbox Series X. If 343 had nothing to worry about, if they didn't have to worry about PC, if they didn't have to worry about Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox One X, or even Xbox SS, that's 5 platforms right there. If they didn't have to worry about any of those, just strictly Xbox Series X, and that is it, you would have Halo Infinite looking great, launching this year. No problems at all. That's all that manpower would just be there to focus on that one platform. That is why Sony, if you look at the PlayStation brand, they're pushing out a lot of games in the first year, and they're having it ready because that's all they're focusing on. They're not focusing on PS Now. They're not focusing on PlayStation 4 or Pro or Day 1 on PC. None of that's their concern. Their concern is we got PlayStation 5 hardware. It's built a specific way, and they're going to take advantage of that, right?
Well, and you got to think about it this way too, Puerto Rock. Because they're only focusing on the next gen games. They only have to focus on PlayStation only games. They don't have to deal with any of the old stuff. They don't have to deal with putting games across 50 different platforms. They're able to get their games with ray tracing, 60 frames a second, 4K. Some games, multiple games, 120 frames a second. And so I was shocked as I seen the amount of content that they have. Right, a lot of people put their foot in their mouths. All the PlayStation 5 can only do 30 frames a second. It can't do 4K, and now all these come to find out, all of these games are coming out 4K. 60.
Some of the developers, the one that's doing Mortal Shell, I think it was. He said our game's actually 4K 70 unoptimized. Look at that.
They haven't even optimized it yet. So imagine once they start adding other features, the ray tracing and all that stuff, and that's the whole purpose of a console, to have a tight niche platform where your developers can do anything they possibly want within that thing. They don't have to worry about all the other additional software and stuff that have to run and that's the downside of PC, right? If PC was only a specific gaming platform, it probably would be the best thing ever in the world. But that's not the case because you still have to run Windows in the background. You still have to worry about Microsoft Office being installed. You have to worry about all these other the drivers and all the other software that you load on there. That you have to compensate for that. So all your memory and all the other stuff is eaten up by all these various programs. Yes. Just for Windows to operate, I think there was like 136 different tasks that are running in the background just for that Windows to be stable.
And never mind other stuff like your antivirus software and whatever.
Exactly. Shit, so, you know, and then this is not a PC versus console debate or anything like that. There is no debate. Listen, if you love PC, that's where, you know, if you spend the money, if money's no object, you can get the best gaming experience performance wise, not games, but performance wise on PC. Have at it. But we're talking about having a budget of $300 to $400 to $500 and having your gaming needs met. That means being able to stream online. That means being able to play games in, you know, high fidelity, high frame rates, and everything else. It just seems like a console is the way to go. You don't have to worry about the blue screen of death and the updated drivers and the stuff that you have to worry about, like with Horizon Zero Dawn being, you know, being janky and I don't even think they ever got Batman running right on PC. You see what I'm saying? You have to give up on that. Think about the guys, Puerto Rock, that have waited 3 years. They've said, you know what, I'm not gonna get a PlayStation. I'm just gonna wait for it to come to PC. They've had to wait for almost 4 years for Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, and it came out janky.
And it came out janky. Like, so was that 3 years really worth your time when you could have spent, you know, $3.99 or $2.99 to get a PlayStation and then just played the game then? So I don't know. That's you know, it's up to the individual.
I mean, what's funny, this whole thing with PS5 going to PC because nobody's looking at it, right? I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn selling 200K, like you said, that's not sales that will change a business decision. That's not. Yeah. It's probably good enough because when you think about it, a 3-year-old game selling at, you know, 200K at $50, okay, that sounds pretty good. But it's not going to change how PlayStation does business. You need a lot more than that. It has to be significant. I mean, you need like 3-4 million just for them even to consider that type of thing, you know. Shout out to Saltiest Gaming, King Thrash, everybody that's joining us. Thank you so much for rocking out. Truly appreciate you joining live. I hope you enjoy the conversation with myself and J-Dub. 185 viewers, man. Truly appreciate you all. If you could do me the solid and hit that like button and get this stuff tweeted out, truly appreciate it. Will help the channel greatly. But back to what I'm saying. The whole PS5, see, I told you they're only doing it, right, to try to downplay the PlayStation 5, right?
Yeah,
because they know exclusives is a powerful, advertisement or whatever you want to say.
It's a big motivation.
It's motivation. Because the thing is, that's the main selling point that a console will always have, is the exclusives. It's not the hardware. Sure, hardware may be nice, performances may be nice, but PC will always do that better. Right?
Yes.
You can never say you're playing the best version of a game when you're a console gamer, and I don't care what console you own. That is not a true statement, right? You have to add caveats. Well, I'm only talking about, no one cares what you only talking about. In the real world, PC plays the games the best, generally. That's reality. You either accept it or you don't. That's it. There is no limitation to consumerism. All right, you are purposely choosing a platform that does not run the games the best because of another reason. It could be because of easier views, it could be of price, whatever. But don't come at me talking about, well, I gotta play the best version. You're not playing the best version. Exactly. Doesn't matter what world or what, you know, left and right lateral limit you're trying to create. You are not playing. Someone is playing a better version of the game than you. That's just the bottom line.
And to your point, that was the whole talking point for the Xbox guys about the X1X. Well, I bought it because I like playing the better version of multiplats. And I'm like, wait, hold up. The best version of multiplats is on PC. Yep. So in 99.9% of these guys, and I asked, okay, so that means from 2013 to 2017, that means you were playing on PlayStation, right? And then they shut up and get quiet.
Yeah.
They act like they forever, the only reason that they got an Xbox is because it had the better version, the better running version of multiplats. And I'm like, look, you were playing the worst version of the multiplats for 4 years. before that X1X came out. So stop the frauding, stop the lying. Like, what are we doing here? And since when, Porter Rock, only in this generation have I heard guys and gamers specifically buy a console to play a specific set of games that were not even considered exclusives.
Yeah.
Back then, I never said, "Hey, I want to play Madden on the Sega Genesis because, because it was the better running version of Madden on the Sega Genesis." I always bought Sega Genesis because it had freaking Sonic.
Yes.
It had Streets of Rage.
Yes. It had exclusives.
It had,
a lot. Shinobi.
Coach K football.
Golden Axe.
Basketball. It had Joe Montana football.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
The
exclusive
was
the reason to buy a console.
Yeah, true that. You know what I'm saying? It's always, console's greatest strength has always been. Notice, though, when you bring up Nintendo, no one says nothing about Nintendo, though.
Never.
Like Nintendo, go ahead and be the dumbass that tried to say Nintendo's gonna put their games they want on PC. No one says that, and they're cool. They leave it alone. Like
exactly.
no one sees an issue of Nintendo keeping their exclusives strictly on their platform, right?
It's not anti-consumer.
Nobody.
For Nintendo. It's only anti-consumer for Sony.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because simply put, Sony's strategy on how they're handling the PS5, right, between the two companies makes Xbox look bad. That's just a reality. So you got these dudes. It's to the point that now they're trying to be indie devs, right, and trying to make games so they could sound credible when they talk about Xbox and how good it looks. Yo, I never seen no shit like that. That people who are trying to get in the industry to be a game developer, yet they still slave over Xbox. Like, this shit blows my mind. Like, yo, that is a whole new level of dedication to this game. Like, yo,
put a rock.
Like that dude Gavin's, right?
Yeah.
Something, right? So his first comment about Ratchet Clank demo, the extended demo, was like, "Oh, look at this, this, and this. Yep, SSD's not helping. So much for the magic of SSD." And I'm like, "Whoa!" His first comment about this is bashing the game, right? But then David Jaffe, who actually makes AAA games, he's a developer who been there, done that, right? Because Gavin's hasn't made a game yet. He's a developer, but hasn't made a game yet. So he still hasn't. He's making a game, but he hasn't done nothing. So it's kind of like one of those dudes who say, "Oh, I play basketball, but you never made it to the NBA." Right? Yep. So you got that versus a guy who's been in the NBA and not only been in the NBA but won a couple of championships. Made AAA games, aka Jaffe. He made Twisted Metal. He's the one creator of God of War. This is the dude that knows how to make AAA games. When you saw his reaction to Ratchet Clank, his mind is blown. He's like pointing out, "Yo, this is real time. This is boom, you're in outer space. Boom, you're in a slide. And boom, you're on a pirate ship." He's like, "Holy cow, you're in different worlds instantly." He's like, "This is real stuff. This is real time. Look at that." You know, and the reason why he's excited, because he personally knows how difficult that is to do.
Yes.
He knows that's no way. He could have never done that on a PS4, on PC, on PlayStation 2. He's like, there is no way for him to make that. He knows the difficulty in that transition that Insomniac does. I mean, when you see his video, he's excited. He's like, "Boom, look at that." And now, boom, we're here. And oh my God, boom, we're in the future. Boom, we're flying on a pterodactyl. Boom, we're on a pirate ship. He's like, "This is real time." Like, you know, he appreciates the work. Gavin doesn't appreciate the work Insomniac did. He could only dream of being a fraction as good as Insomniac.
Exactly.
But you got these dudes, they just do it to cap for Xbox, and it's just weird, especially if you want that to be your career. Then you don't want to cap for anybody, because you want every platform to push your games if that's what you're trying to do. Like, yo, this shit is strange, me seeing this shit. The weirdest shit, I never seen anything like that before. And crazy.
Even better. Even if you're gonna decide to cap for a company that hard, right? Why would you cap for the fucking company that doesn't care about consoles?
They don't even want to buy your games.
The ones that looks like they're fucking damn near exiting game. And I don't like.
Don't know.
Bro, that's like investing in Enron after the stock's already going out and everybody's getting arrested. Like, what the fuck?
Like, I don't know. It's just It's just crazy how much effort they're putting into a brand and how much effort they're trying to tear down a brand. When in reality, we all know how this gen is going to turn out. PlayStation 5 is going to... We know it's done. PlayStation 5 is going to wipe the floor of Xbox Series X. It's just I think it's going to be even worse compared to this gen. It's just a wrap.
Well, there was the debate, Porter Rock, and a lot of Xbox guys say it's going to be much closer than it was last generation because they messed up so bad last generation because they had a lot of stuff going against them. But it seems like they're ending on such a low note and they're already stumbling out the gate by not having any software, any first-party titles to launch with the console for another 2 years.
Like PlayStation strategy, right? Because and it's funny how now everybody's like, oh, we haven't seen no games running on Xbox Series X. J-Dub, didn't we been saying that shit for months?
For months
we've been telling y'all, and then we got nothing but damage control. Now there's an epiphany.
Yep. All of a sudden, just one day, right? Just one day, they decide, well, you know what? We haven't seen anything running on the X Series X. And then it's this whole trickle-down effect. All the guys with the cyberpunk chairs, all the influencers, all the paid-off people, all of a sudden, they got this strategy. Well, now we're going to start shitting on Xbox and asking the questions we should have been asking for a year.
Months ago. Yeah, at least a year, right? PlayStation, because Sony's focusing strictly on PlayStation 5, that means the tool sets that the developers are using as they evolve them or create new ones, they don't have to worry about the PlayStation 4. Because they're done with that. They don't have to worry about maintaining tool sets, especially the big developers. Maybe the newer developers or people still trying to make games for PS4, they still got to do it. But the top developers of PlayStation, they're moving forward. They don't have to worry about their tool sets still working on PlayStation 4. It's 100% focused on PlayStation 5 hardware. It's because of that they can focus on the games. They can focus on the quality of the games. Any mistakes or errors, they can quickly patch it and fix it. They can get their games ready, looking great, right, for the PlayStation 5. While Xbox, these first parties, they have to juggle how to manage multiple tool sets for multiple platforms. They got to worry about the tool sets to still make it work on the Xbox One. They got to work the tool sets to make the Xbox One X look better than the Xbox One. Then they got to worry about the tool sets that makes the Xbox Series X. And of course people say, oh, it's all unified bullshit. You can't unify Jaguar cores and Ryzen 2 architecture.
Exactly.
There's no tool sets in the world that's going to make that transition easy.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Scale. They started this, and I don't understand it, man. Why is it that the Xbox guys, the community, keep starting these bullshit, almost like a movement, right? They all get on one accord, and that's one thing. That's one thing I do like about the Xbox community. If one person says something, the whole the whole team backs them up. Yeah, it's literally, it's like one like the meeting of the mind. So they went on this whole tangent about scaling. Even their fake insiders, scaling.
Yo, that scaling shit, you know how many times we argued that? And like, oh, you don't know how games work.
Exactly.
Like, scaling. And now they realize, you know what? Yeah. This scaling shit don't work.
It's like, bro, we've been gaming since fucking the NES, the Atari 2600. How are you going to tell me what's going to work and what's not going to work?
Half these dudes are 360 gamers.
Exactly.
Like, shut your young ass up.
Exactly. These dudes, the Xbox 360 was their first console.
Yo.
Come on. And you asked them, name me one
Not even
OG
their first Xbox.
Exactly. Name me one OG Xbox game and that's not Halo. And then they'll look at you dumb.
It's crazy, man. So let's move on to the next topic. Backwards compatibility. So Ubisoft first put out, as part of their thing, saying the game's moving forward, they made a statement saying that backwards compatibility does not apply to the PlayStation 3, 2, and 1, right? So that people ran with it. They already posted it. They already made videos. Yo, mad quick. Within an hour, Ubisoft retracted that statement about transitioning titles to next gen version. So they're no longer saying that the PlayStation 5 is not backwards compatible to 3, 2, and 1. My man Hip Hop Gamer, he made a tweet, and I'm showing it on the screen. He said he tagged Vicious, Paris. He tagged our boy Tony, Romudev, and he tagged Tor Davis and everyone. How come this is removed now? Please answer. I mean, why not leave it up since it's supposed to be true, right? See, y'all soon. Oh, hey, Foxy Games UK. Why did this get removed in terms of the statement? Now, Hip Hop Gamer has been adamant.
Two years ago.
Yo, for the longest.
He stated 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's been saying for the longest that PlayStation 5 will be backwards compatible all the way down to the PlayStation 1. That's what he's been saying, right?
Yes, he's been saying that.
Okay. Now, I can't attest if it's gonna happen or not, right? Because I don't know the fine details to trying to at a minimum, you know, can the PlayStation 5 run PS3 games? You know, considering like the 2-in-1, yeah, I know. PlayStation 5 could definitely run PlayStation 2-in-1 games. That I know. Yeah. That's not hard. Hell, PlayStation 4, there's a lot of games that are PlayStation 2 games that you can buy right now and you can play on the console, right? You could play Warriors. You know, the PlayStation 2 game, the Warriors.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So they just didn't make a robust library of PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 games to play on the PlayStation 4, right? They have a couple, right? But there's a lot of titles you can play on the PlayStation now. You go to the store, it's there, right? So I know PlayStation 5 can run these games, right? The question is really the PlayStation 3, and the question really comes down to, does Sony see PlayStation 3, 2, and 1 as a lucrative market to make it backwards compatible where you think people are going to buy PlayStation 3, 2, 1 games? Or should they just leave it on PS Now? That's where I think, I'm not sure where they headed at, right? Yeah. But here's the thing, right? Ultimately, right, if Sony feels that backwards compatibility is a lucrative market where they can sell these games, right, maybe even attempt to enhance them, right, I think Sony will do it, right? Maybe not at launch, right? But like I always says, technology and features can be copied. They just need time to implement it. Remember the whole shit talking? Oh, no name change. Yep. When was the last time you hear somebody complaining about PlayStation name change?
Exactly.
That shit is dead.
Yeah.
No one even brings it up no more, right?
And guess what? Nobody even changed their name.
Yeah, nobody even changed their name. Nobody even cared. That's what's crazy. Exactly. Like, the Sony did this name change and no one's really using it. Like, it was just a talking point, right? Crossplay, right? Everybody's talking about, Sony doesn't do crossplay. Now, what? No one talks about it. You see what I'm saying? So features and things like that could be copied, right? And if Sony feels it's a lucrative market to push out and actually hunt to get PS3, PS2, PS1 games out there to make money and stuff like that, they will do it, right?
Yeah.
The reason why Psycho Gamer says, wait, you can change your name now on PlayStation? Bruh. Like, for like a year.
You've been able to do that.
Yeah, it's old as hell. You could change your name for the longest. Microsoft, in my opinion, they're doing this backwards compatibility because to them it's a lucrative market, but it's a way for them to sell the next generation console. Because look what they're saying. On day one on Xbox Series X, you have access to 4,000 games.
Yeah, four generations of games.
I'm like, 4,000 next gen games? Like, no. We're talking 360, Xbox One, original. I'm like, I ain't buying a new console for OG Xbox. Are you out your goddamn mind? Like, what the F? Then you're going to buy $500, maybe even $599, and you're telling me you're going to pop in Ninja Gaiden Black?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Yeah. To be fair,
boy, if you don't get your ass out this goddamn Best Buy with that bullshit.
To be fair, though, Porter Rock, you would say that too if your console didn't have any games, any first party games.
I would leave the console.
You look for other stuff, right?
I'm out.
Wherever your console is the weakest at, you stay away from that department. So Xbox has always kind of been weak in the games department. Therefore, they should stay away from that.
Imagine me going to Best Buy.
This is why the power became the mantra. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine I go to a Sony store, Best Buy, and there's a Sony rep. And they have a PlayStation 5. And I'm like, oh, snap, what games I could play? Oh, you can play Heavenly Sword, Resistance. And I'm like, hold up, am I buying a PS3 again?
Exactly.
Like, what are we talking about here? Are you reselling the play? Is this the PlayStation 3?
It's not going to
make is this the what's that?
Pull the trigger on buying a console.
Yo, what's that shit? What's that shit called? When Super Nintendo re-released the Super NES, Genesis, what they called it?
the mini,
what they called it? They had a special, the classic. Yeah, I'm like, y'all selling the PlayStation 3 Classic or something? Like, yo, this sounds like the PlayStation 3 launch. Like, what are you talking about? Like, if I'm going to the thing and I want a PlayStation 5, You got to sell me PlayStation 5 games. Don't tell me about Heavenly Sword, some shit I bought at launch, Jumping Flash. I'll be like, what? Like, what?
Well,
Jumping Flash?
Exactly.
Yo, now, you out your mind.
Puerto Rock, it's a great novelty. I would maybe use it once or twice just to see, right? But after that, like, it's a novelty thing. It's like, you know what? If I really want to play those games, I'll go in my bins. I'll pull out my OG systems, plug them shits up, play them for a little while, and dump them back in.
I will slap the dude. I'll slap the dude. You know, I got my debit card. I'll be like, I'm ready to get that PlayStation 5. What games you got? Yo, dog, we got Armored Core 2. We got Midnight Club 1 and Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Yo, like that. It would be a natural reaction. I'd be like, do I got stupid written on my face? You're trying to resell me the PlayStation 1 and 2? Man, if you don't get your ass out this Best Buy store right now with your bullshit, like, what are you trying to sell here? PlayStation 5. I want to see Cinco. I want to see these games that start with Cinco. You know what I'm saying? Like, these dudes is crazy. Like, I would be pissed if that was Sony's message. I'd be like, you out your mind.
I'm gonna be honest. It's true for majority of the gamers. Yeah. They buy consoles to play the new. They buy new consoles to play the new stuff. They don't listen again. Having options is always good. If it's there, it's there. But just because it's there is not going to sway a person left or right. Yeah, if they didn't have backwards compatible, that's not going to deter a person from buying, Spider-Man Miles Morales or Ratchet and Clank or Gran Turismo 7 or Horizon Zero Dawn 2. It's not. It's not. But on the other aisle, right? On the other aisle, if Xbox don't support backwards compatibility, they literally have 0 fucking games to play on the X Series X.
Man, like you got people right now saying that Xbox should delay next gen. They can't.
I agree.
I agree. Though. They can. That would be a disaster for them.
Listen, it's going to be Puerto Rock. It's already a disaster. They put all their eggs in one basket.
So what's worse than a disaster? Like, because that's what that would be. Right? It would be worse. I will tell you why. Go ahead. No, I'll let you talk. Go ahead. No, right. Go make your point.
So here's my thing. You put all your eggs in one basket with Halo. Halo didn't work out. That shit's going to launch at best the end of next year. Yeah,
maybe. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think
maybe. Right now, people are talking about them. They've hired 2 new developers to work on single player and multiplayer. So we're looking at, I'm just going to go on record and say 2 years. It's going to be 2 years.
Yo, them dudes they hired, they're like, I got you. I could fix it. They be like, hey, let me see the product right now. They look at it. They're like, I quit.
Especially,
you're gonna see them quit in about a month.
Especially because they confirm they're not going to drop the Xbox One platform. They're going to continue making Halo Infinite for the Xbox One. Yeah. Most people kind of went out there rumor world that if like Digital Foundry said, they need to instantly drop Xbox One platform and focus solely on the X Series X. Then this thing could probably be ready next year, in 1 year. Yeah. Well, that's not going to be the case. Yeah. So.
I can see that dude right now. He got hired. They gave him a good check. Hey, you're going to make this much money. He's like, cool, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad I'm back on Halo, the franchise I started. Let me see what you guys working with. And they're like, here's the code. And he's going to look at it. He's going to be like.
Oh, man.
He's going to be like. Oh, I got COVID. I got to go. Ventilators. I need ventilators. He's going to be out. He out. No, he's going to pull that COVID card. He ain't staying there. He's going to look at that shit like, what the hell is this?
Nah, he's going to pull a ninja. He's going to pull a ninja. He's just going to take that check.
My man
He's going to take that check.
He's going to have the quickest case of COVID you will ever see. He's going to have like a little packet of ketchup. He's like, I'm bleeding. Like, we're squeezing the ketchup packet. I'm bleeding. I got to go. I can't stay here. Like, what? Like, yo, shout out to J Hart. Hold on, super chat. He said J Hart. He says they should call the Xbox Series X the Xbox One Classic. That's what they're selling y'all, a $500 classic. Yo,
exactly.
Yo, this is wild, man.
Speaking of that, Puerto Rock. Speaking of that, what do you think about the whole excuse about COVID? Right? when Sony delayed their shows, right? When they pulled out of their shows and stuff, the Xbox fan base wouldn't take COVID for an excuse.
Nope.
They wouldn't take that for an excuse. They started throwing slander at Sony, saying they're scared. They didn't have any games ready. The system was going to get delayed. And then Microsoft started pulling out their events. And then it's like, well, yeah, that's understandable. And now, 3 months before a game drop, they're starting to use that COVID-19 as an excuse on why Halo is that. So you mean to tell me you've been working on this game for 5 years. You got down to the last 6 months, and then that last 6 months is the way that game looked like that. Like, come on, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
Here's the thing. So I'm sure everybody in the industry, right, is having issues with COVID, right? So I have no doubt about that. But what made it worse for Microsoft is their strategy. They weren't focused on making the Xbox Series X the premier place to play games on Xbox. They went with this multi-platform strategy, still worrying about the Xbox One, which in of itself makes no sense, right? Because the Xbox One, when you think about that brand, that is the brand that lowered the brand. It devalued it.
Yes.
So if anything, you want to run away from the phrase Xbox One as fast as possible so you can restart over, right? And rebuild the Xbox name from scratch, right?
Yes.
Or you start over, and you do that by building games specifically for Xbox Series X. But the fact that they
Nintendo did with the Wii U, right?
They didn't say Wii U 2. No, exactly. They started over. They made a complete new identity. They started from scratch. And they don't even identify
with the Wii U ever existed.
It's not backwards compatible with the Wii U. It doesn't use the same shit as the Wii U. You can't use the Joy-Con with Wii. Nothing. They started from scratch, and look how successful they are. Vegger. BC is in long-term primary feature, but only a short-term secondary feature. Something for the first 2-3 years of a new console generation, but not a lifeline as it's been for Xbox for many years. Absolutely true. Right?
Yeah.
So Microsoft, they did not try to cut the umbilical cord, right? It's like, you know, your leg has gangrene, but you still want to keep it. No! Exactly. Chop that shit off before you die.
That shit off.
Cut that shit off. Xbox One is gangrene, dog. That shit's a disease. You gotta cut it. Chop that off.
It's toxic, man. You gotta. I've been saying that, man. They gotta dead the Xbox One name. They gotta kill that shit instantly.
Just kill it. Ignore that shit. You know, mention it for backwards compatibility, but for like 10 seconds. Yeah, we're backwards compatible with Xbox One. But look at these Xbox Series X exclusives and games built. You know, you gotta push forward. Sony did that, and because they did that, they didn't put the developers under pressure to still try to make PS4 Slim, PS4 Pro.
You're right.
They moved forward, which made the development environment easier even during COVID. This is why Insomniac, they got 2 big games within, at a minimum, launch window. Insomniac, at a minimum.
Yep.
And they got 2 studios on either side of the country. One is in Raleigh, North Carolina. The other studio's in Santa Monica. And they still were able to get the things done. Right? This shit is crazy, man. You know?
I agree.
And you would think these Xbox, right? They would think, you know what? As much as we give shit PlayStation, Sony shit, they really know how to manage their fucking console. They really know how to give their fan base what their fan base wants. Because they answer, at the end of the day, their fan base is getting the games. They're looking right. Hell, Xbox Series X was the first console that was announced, that was revealed in December last year.
It is.
They showed the whole world. And what happens? Oh, where's the PlayStation 5? Oh, PlayStation ain't got no confidence. There's no confidence. Microsoft has so much confidence right now. Where that confidence at now? Right? PlayStation went out there and be like, hey, yo, we sending emails. Prepare to pre-order because it might sell out. Hey, we got a demo, extended demo. We about to show you that right now.
Yep.
What's Microsoft doing? They ain't talking about pre-orders. They haven't shown extended demos of their games running on Xbox. Yo, it's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy.
It is, man. I don't know, man. Microsoft started out strong in December. They had the confidence. They had my attention, and I went out there, made a video, said, "Look, this is the Microsoft I want to see." Phil was confident.
I knew better.
He was direct. He showed a console. and he showed a game, which it was CGI, but still. And then after that, they just fell flat on their face. Remember that April event they had?
Oh yeah,
I think the show in the third party event,
and all of it was PC.
It was supposed to give it to us, and it didn't. It was no gameplay. They showed Assassin's Creed Valhalla. None of that was in game. There was no gameplay at that show. And then people said, wait till July 23rd event. They're going to show Halo and all these first party games. Yeah. July 23rd event happened, and we got Craig. And then that was the rest of history.
Craig is the best thing, not in a good way, but it was the best thing that Microsoft's done this year. But not in a good way.
That was a gift to Sony.
That was a gift to Sony. For gamers. We enjoyed the hell out of Craig. I've seen so many memes. I have not seen so many memes since the PlayStation 3's $599. Not since Sony announced that and Ridge Racer. Not since Ridge Racer and $599 have I seen so many damn memes come out.
Or that boomerang controller.
Or the boomerang controller. But that Craig literally was everywhere in almost everything, man. My favorite is the Spider-Man. Like everywhere I go, I see his face. Yo, I was like, yo.
No. Did you see the Ratchet and Clank when
the
Ratchet
portal
this little thing through the world and then Craig's face popped?
Yeah, when you look real closely. Oh man, when you see it, and I'm like, what? See what? And then I looked in the portal, you see Craig. Yo, I'm like, yo, this dude keeps on giving, man. And the one with a blunt, yo, I'm like, oh my god, this meme is amazing. The meme is amazing.
When he had the Shannon Sharp face,
yes,
yeah, with the blunt.
Yo, the meme is amazing. I like you just can't, man. So all right, every
day is something different with Craig, man. I hate to say it, but earlier this generation,
they gotta make a game just for
Xbox
him,
One.
Man. The Adventures of
now
Craig.
We got Craig for the next generation. So I don't know, man. They're gonna have to get Craig. They're gonna have to give Craig some hair. They're gonna have to change his face or something, because if not, when you're playing the game and you see Craig, you're gonna instantly start laughing.
Yo, if they have, obviously in Halo multiplayer, if they could have a skin of Craig, that's the character I'm gonna be. Yeah. No one's gonna shoot me because they'll be too busy laughing. Me running around as Craig.
With the cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah, with a blunt. Yeah. All right, final topic. As if PlayStation ain't dominating enough, right? There's rumor new PlayStation 5 event is coming September 9th. Conference content. Now this is all rumored, but full PlayStation 5 review, including hardware, features, UI system, launch date, and price. PlayStation Now is coming for more countries and with new marketing approach. And then you have gameplay of 10 party titles already revealed: Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Ratchet Clank, Gran Turismo 7, Demon Souls, God 4, and Returnal. All these coming on the console launch. I can't believe that, dog. Like, dog,
them some heavy hitters, man.
Like, that's crazy. And then Call of Duty Cold War multiplayer review, and new trailers of Horizon 2 Forbidden West, and games already announced in June event. And then the final point, big horror game is coming exclusively for PlayStation 5 from Japan studio. Rumor has it is Silent Hill. And then partnership, and partnership announcement of 30 party games, including content of multiplayer and timed exclusives. What do you think about that? Like, what do you feel out there? It might be legit, might be a little bit exaggerated.
This is like a Sony,
right?
A diehard Sony guy's wet dream, right? This is everything you want.
Yeah.
To start off a new generation, this would check all the boxes. This would just solidify your purchase, which I think everyone is already solidified, but this would take away every single excuse. People who don't have a PlayStation or it's not in the PlayStation ecosystem, this would take away their excuses. Even PC guys.
Yes.
We know you got two Titans and the 28 guys. We know that. But when you see these games right here as launch titles, and I mean that's a lot of AAA. That's not small stuff, right? You got your Spider-Man, you got Ratchet and Clank, you got Gran Turismo 7. They're Sony's biggest IP ever. You got Demon Souls,
especially those who love Dark Souls games and shit.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Demon Souls. You got Demon Souls. That started all. Yeah.
And then plus a solid. I mean,
Godfall,
that's
Returnal.
man, that's so in Sony. The reason I don't want to dismiss this is because Sony came out like a week ago saying that they're going to have the biggest launch in PlayStation brand history.
They did
And
say
so
that.
I'm thinking in my mind, wait, okay, so you hadn't really told us what you're going to launch with. I mean, we know Godfall, we know Spider-Man, right? But everything else, you hadn't really put a date behind it. So what can launch? What can you scrap together that's going to make it the biggest launch lineup ever? That means over PlayStation 1, over PlayStation 2, over PlayStation 3, and over PlayStation 4. So what could they put together? And this here is a compelling case. Yeah. I mean, now granted, the guys that only play 2K and Madden, they probably don't care about this, but this is not for them, right?
Yeah.
Those guys don't count because they didn't buy the OG PlayStation 1 or the PlayStation 2 just to play Madden and 2K because those games didn't exist. So
Yeah, most of those guys, they'll stay on PlayStation simply because that's where their peoples are at. They'll play 2K, Madden, Call of Duty. Their people's always been PlayStation, and that's it. Those guys, right? But but the PlayStation Nation that loves exclusives, that loves these titles, that is a huge lineup. If Sony could pull it off, if Sony pulls off that lineup, that shit is huge. That is a lot of exclusive content right from the get go. Right from
that's a lot of exclusive first party content.
Yes. Because right off the bat, the only game I wouldn't really care about from there is Gran Turismo 7 because I'm not really into racing games.
Exactly.
That's just me. But Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Ratchet and Clank, Demon's Souls, Godfall, Returnal, that's 5 games I'll be buying. If they were to have done this day one, that's 5 games day one, dog.
Yes.
And you know I'm cracking open Spider-Man, Miles Morales, so I'm going to be playing the hell out of that first.
Yep.
And then I'm going to... Oh my God, I can't even think, man. Like, it's crazy.
A bigger thing to notice from here, right, is the mere facts Sony purchased Insomniac 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and these motherfuckers already got two games from their studios ready to go at launch.
Already delivering. In fact, Insomniac's purchase was announced
what the fuck
after.
343 been doing?
Yeah, Insomniac's purchase was announced after Microsoft's, like months, maybe like 6 months to a year later.
Yes,
because Microsoft announced, Ninja Theory purchase. Who else they got?
The Forza Horizon guys.
Playground purchase.
Yep.
Obsidian. Yep. Those were announced before Insomniac.
Exactly.
Yo, this is just crazy, man. It's just, you know what it is? It's Sony, like you said. David Jaffe said it best. One of the secrets Sony has is their management. They know how to support the developers, make the best decisions on behalf of the developers, and any obstacles that their developers have in trying to create games, Sony does their best job to get rid of those obstacles, so their developers can have the best opportunity to make the game, right? Microsoft, they announced, we're gonna give these people creative freedom, but it's creative freedom like it's like it's creative freedom like you can make the game you want, but you're still gonna have stipulation. And stipulation is it's gotta work on PC, it's gotta work on Xbox One, it's gotta work on Xbox One S, it's gotta work on Xbox One X, it's gotta work on Xbox Series SS, it's gotta work on this, it's gotta work on xCloud. But create what you want though.
Yeah.
You can create what you want. Oh, and it's gonna be on Game Pass day one too. So make sure the budget. But no restrictions. Do what you want. Like, come on, man. This is why you see all these problems with the brand right now. True Virgil.
Yeah.
After writing J-Dub, the Golden Pony for Miles in the Desert, Jim Ryan saw a vision of true God of gaming, Lord Spencer. His message: bring your games to PC and they will come. Oh, stop it. Dog.
Yeah.
You're gonna be waiting a long time. You're gonna just be sitting there. You might as well play them RTSs and shit. Get real good at it.
Yeah, the Dotas and World of Warcraft.
You're going to be waiting a long time to play these PS5 games. You're going to be waiting a long time, right? Or you can play these Xbox
But that goes back, Porter Rock. I've been saying this about Microsoft this whole generation. 2 things. Phil Spencer is not the guy. He should have been ran off along with Donnie D. They should have scrapped and started from scratch. Yeah. And 2, Sony are just they're on a whole different level, and everybody knows it, right? Phil knows it. Phil is out. Anytime Sony launched their game, Phil Spencer's out there congratulating Sony for another mega hit, another highly rated game, another masterpiece. And they're good quality games. Even their small stuff is better than Microsoft's small stuff, right?
Yeah.
And there's no fucking competition, and I think that's why Microsoft is taking the strategy that they have, because they know. Neil Druckmann said it. He said, "Look, man, it took us over 10 years to get to the point where we can always crank out top-notch stuff.
Yeah.
Like in their sleep, they can crank out a fucking 94, 93 Metacritic game. Naughty Dog. It doesn't matter. You can have them to make a racing game, a wrestling game, or whatever, and they can crank out a quality game. That didn't come overnight. He said it took them almost a decade to put the key people together in the right places, in the right tries, and in the blood, sweat, and tears to get together to where they can consistently crank out that quality. Microsoft only has one studio that can be consistent, and that's the Forza Horizon.
That's Turn 10.
Is it?
That's Turn 10, actually.
Yeah.
Turn 10 is their only original dev.
No, Playground, not even Turn 10. Turn 10, they can't even be consistent with their game. It's Playground games with the Forza Horizon.
Yeah.
The Forza Motorsports, all that shit is wonky. It's up and down. That shit only sold 750,000 copies. It didn't even break 1 million mark. Again, it seems like that's the only consistent thing that Microsoft has. So I'm confident in them being able to crank out a good quality game. 343, I am not confident in.
No.
Obviously, for obvious reasons, Gears Studio, the Coalition, they're wonky, up and down. Rod Ferguson, he left, he jumped ship.
He left.
I feel like Microsoft, all their studios are all starting from scratch because that's what it seems like. And now the information came out about Halo is that 90% of the staff was outsourced. Mm-hmm. So you got a revolving door. They outsourced all this stuff, and the guys only stay on for like a year, and they're on 6 months to a year, according to that article. Yeah. So that sounds like Microsoft is not in it for the long haul. You can't get people to stay or sign them to long-term contracts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
you got guys. Pretty much a lot of people. A lot of the big people and a lot of the head of these studios are long-term people in the Sony camp.
Yes, they're long-term. They've been in the game for a while. They, like you said, they cultivated their own culture within it. Yeah. They got the right people, trial and error, and that's why you have this quality studio. They built it with quality people, and they're just growing slowly, but they're growing the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But anyway, I guess that's the last topic. You got anything, brother?
That's it, man. That's it. Had some great topics today, man.
Yeah, so hey, everybody, thanks for rocking out. We had over 330 viewers up in here. On your way out, if you could hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Check out my boy J-Dub's content. He's probably the only dude that's actually streams Xbox games and play them. So you can see those games on his channel if you actually want to see games being played, because everybody else is too busy on GitHub.
Facts.
Anyway, this is your boy Puerto Rock 77. Thanks for rocking out. Tune in next week, and we have another amazing show for you guys. All right.